All right, my name's Rosemary. They already introduced me next. Okay, so I work at an agency called Jewish Family Service. It's a non-denominational social service agency, so that means we help anybody. And I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about me. For about 8 years, I took care of my mom, my aunt, and my neighbor all at the same time. 2 of them had Alzheimer's disease. And in the middle of all of that, I decided to go to grad school. And I wanted to do something for me. It's important to do something for, so I know it sounds like a crazy thing to do for relaxation, but I sure loved it. And I took classes and loved Dr. Dassel's program, and it was super fun for me. And part of that was an internship with Jewish Family Service, working with people who have dementia. And so I had personal and professional and education experience with dementia, and I love it. I really love it. So some of the things we offer at our agency, we have mental health counseling services, we have community education classes, we have a food pantry and emergency assistance program. We have a bunch of programs for seniors, so that's what I do. I'll tell you a little bit about music and memory. Ron gave us a wonderful introduction for that. We have a couple caregiver support groups for people who take care of someone with dementia. We have a choir for people with dementia. You'll hear a lot more about that tomorrow, but I'll tell you a little bit about it today. We're good at plugging people into community resources, so people will call and say, hi, my senior needs X, and generally we are able to kind of direct them toward community resources that might be helpful to them. And then we have a really cool program you'll hear more about tomorrow that we call Creative Aging. And Kara this morning talked a lot about what is dementia, so I'm not going to say anything that she said, because literally we say the exact same thing. But sometimes you go, well, what are all these different words and terms and stuff? Well, she mentioned Alzheimer's disease is the most common form of dementia, so that's why you hear that a lot. And those are the other ones she talked about. So here's some examples, because you hear all the time, oh my gosh, I just heard it today. Someone goes, I think I've got it. Here's some examples. So every single one of us has walked into a room, why am I in here? We all do that. That's normal. Someone with dementia might walk into a room and not know where they are. I just realized I forgot the mic. Can you hear me? I think they can hear me out in the parking lot. My neighbors talk about it. But anyway, so someone with dementia, where am I? So that's the difference. Keys. Every one of us has gone, okay, I got to go. Where are my keys? And we go, okay, last bag I had, last coat I had, here are my keys. Someone with dementia might hold their keys in their hand and not know what they're for or how to use them. So you can see the difference. Every one of us has run into someone on the street and gone, oh, Rosemary, how are you? It's so good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Who is that? We all do that. And then later in the day, oh, that's who that was. We all do that. That's normal. Someone with dementia might see someone and not know who they are when they're a close family member or friend. So see, there is a difference there. So just because you forget things doesn't mean you have dementia. It means you're human, you're normal. It's okay. So the things that you do for your heart are also things you do for your brain. Heart health, brain health, it both helps. We just don't think of our brain because our brain is in there, and unless we have a headache, we never think about our brain. Healthy diet, exercise, lower your stress level. I don't have to tell you what stress feels like. You're living it, right? So every single day, take a few deep breaths. Deep, deep, deep breaths. Let it out. That tells your body, I'm safe, everything's okay. So every day, every time you brush your teeth or get in the car or whenever all day long, take some deep breaths. It'll calm your body, it'll calm your mind, and help you feel better. And it's free and you're already breathing. You might as well breathe more deeply and then you'll feel better and it lowers your stress level. And one that you don't think of very often is active social life. You don't think of that because you think, oh, I just don't have time or whatever. Having a healthy social life, which does not mean you have to go to parties all the time, but is as important for your health as any of these other things. People who are isolated and lonely have worse health outcomes and die sooner. So, as I said, you don't have to go to a lot of parties if that's not your thing, but you can connect with other people. You can call people on the phone. You can maybe just go out to lunch. You can go walk around the block. Connecting with others will be healthy actually for your body, which is really interesting to think about it for me. Drink a lot of water. Everyone, not everyone has their water in front of them. If you have it in your bag, you pick it up right now and you drink some water. As we get older, it's so easy to get dehydrated, and it's easy to get urinary tract infections, and that's how it is. And we don't want to drink a lot because, oh, I'm going out. You know, I don't want to have something embarrassing happen, or I don't want to get up at night to go to the bathroom. I don't want to fall. So we stop drinking, and then you have problems. Well, sometimes dehydration can look like sudden dementia. Suddenly, you might, either you or someone you love might be kind of incoherent and babbling, anxious, confused, just kind of like really mixed up. That is not dementia. As Kara mentioned, dementia is very, very slow over many years. If anyone you know ever is suddenly cuckoo, babbling, incoherent, that's a medical problem. It could be as simple as dehydration, but really needs medical attention. There's no such thing as sudden onset dementia, which is kind of interesting. So this is a picture I really, really like. It's a cartoon, so that shows you kind of where I live. So the left side of your brain, this is your thinky brain. This is where your math is and your logic and reason and your language. People with dementia lose that. The right-hand side of your brain is your creativity and your emotion and your love and music and singing and poetry. They have this. This doesn't go away. We want this. We want to have those great conversations. That's what we want. We don't have that. And I'm sorry, it's not coming back. So let's use what they do have. One of the frustrations when people are caring for someone with dementia is that from the outside world, they kind of appear to be normal. They're usually really healthy, and they can chit-chat, like on the street. How are you? I'm good. Everything's fine. And people on the outside will go, gosh, I think they're getting better. They look good. And caregivers are like, they can't put on their shoes. You know, caregivers are kind of drowning because it's so hard. So people with dementia can chit-chat all day long. And they can follow rhythm of speech. How are you today? They can follow that, and they can kind of surmise what the conversation is about and fake it just like we do. When we're on the street and run into someone, we have no idea who it is, we also fake it. We're good at that. So are they. So that's what they can do. And so one funny story I love to tell is that you have a little box right here, a little vault or a box on the right-hand side of your brain that's full of bad words. Have you ever stubbed your toe and just gone blah with all your bad words? You know, you can't help it because why? Well, you feel pain, so your emotion side kicks in. Your logic side goes blank because you can't go, oh, I just stubbed my toe. My toe really hurts right now. Geez. We just go blah with bad words. So remember, they lose that logic side. They lose the filter that says, please don't say these things in front of other people. Don't say inappropriate things or bad words in these settings. They lose that. So sometimes you'll hear, my gosh, I went to give him a shower and they were just swearing like a sailor. And you're like, what happened? Are they turning crazy? Are they turning mean? They're using what they've got left. This is what's left. And that includes the vault that has bad words. And I just think that's really funny. Yeah.
Real quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Can they still have dementia but have the right brain have bent thing and the left brain? Because I have two I take care of, and one had all the stroke thing on one side, and the other one has the left. So I mean, they're opposites of each other.
Well, as Kara mentioned, everyone is different and every path is different. And like that video, we love that video. It's a great video. But it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Kind of generally speaking, this is true. But stroke is different. And stroke attacks where it attacks. And that's too bad. Is that semi-accurate?
Yeah, because my husband's got the right side gone. He had a stroke.
And aphasia. So my husband
Yeah,
has aphasia.
that's a whole nother thing.
We don't hear any bad words because we don't hear words.
Right. Yeah, his vault is closed.
Yeah. The word belt.
Yeah, it's all, yeah, there's lots of different varieties and lots of different things happening all at the same time. So I always say, kind of like Ron said earlier, they don't really turn mean as much as they're using what they've got left. And so what you kind of want to do is be a detective. So if someone is agitated or angry, irritated, frustrated, any of that stuff, what's below that? Why? Why are we frustrated? Why are we angry? Why am I acting out? Why am I swearing? Find out, think about it, and what can you do about that? You can comfort them because, as he said, they're scared. There's a reason that we're saying bad words. There's a reason I'm yelling and screaming. I can't say what on that other side, that other picture. I can't say what I want to say. I'm using what I've got left. So comfort, soothing, eye contact straight ahead. People with dementia can't always see sideways. Straight ahead, lower your voice, slow down your voice. People with dementia can lose their sense of taste at some point, a lot. And so, but they love sweets. Sweet taste stays. So if your person loves sweets, it's because they can taste it. And so if they're able, diabetes is a whole different ballgame, but if they're able, another soothing thing is ice cream or a cookie or something sweet. Music, something quiet, something to calm down. What's that emotion? Why am I upset? Instead of, oh my gosh, they are being mean. But why? So be a detective. Think it through. Music, we talked a little bit about, Jen talked a little bit about that a minute ago. Music is all over your brain. There's no music center of your brain because you hear music, you sing music, you move to music. It's going all over. You've got the lyrics and the beat. There's so much happening. It kind of imprints all over the place. We have a gentleman, one of our groups with dementia, and we played some music, and we played a song I love, and it's Sister Golden Hair by America, and he has primary progressive aphasia. He can't talk. He can talk a little. That means you lose your language. And he can say yes and no and, kind of get by a little bit. We turned on Sister Golden Hair, and I am telling you what, he sang every single word to that song.
Yeah, my husband will sing hymns at church, and he wouldn't have spoken other than.
He couldn't say it, but he can sing it.
But he can sing it.
It's fascinating. It's so cool. It's so neat. And the joy on his face was infectious, and it was beautiful. And the song ended, and I go, oh my gosh, that's my favorite song too. And he couldn't say, yeah, me too. He goes like that. But he could sing it. Music really connects. It makes us happy and reduces stress. It's just good for us. Have you ever been in the store and your favorite song comes on? You're in the store and you're singing, or you hear someone else singing, It just makes us happy. It's good for us. So however you can get music into your life and into the life of your person probably is going to do some good. And so there's so many ways we get music right now. Music is everywhere. We all have music on our phone probably. And so then what? And that's why I asked Jen that question. How do you know what to play? Well, what do they react to? Just like us in the store, if they start singing and dancing, that's the key. If they just sit there, that's not the key. And so whenever they react to a song, that's a goodie. Keep it. And it doesn't matter. You can play it over and over and over. They're not going to remember. So it's okay. But also think about musicals. Do they love musicals? And even if you think they don't, they're going to like the sound of music. Everyone likes the sound of music. I've been to hundreds of places. Everyone likes the sound of music. That's how it is. But think of, what about commercial jingles or songs from their childhood or songs from TV? And you can talk about it. It wakes them up. They can talk about their music. Ooh, what do you like about that? Oh, So enjoy music together. Let them listen to music. Have fun. And so, as we mentioned, music is so great for all of us. It makes us happy. But specifically with dementia, they've done a lot of research on it. But at the U in particular, they've done a lot of research on what does favorite music do for us. Well, guess what? If someone has dementia, it reduces anxiety, agitation, depression, gives them something to do. And it's great because the caregiver can have a little bit of a break. You put the headphones on or turn on the speakers. Caregiver can, hey, take your, you listen to your music, I'm going to go take a shower. So it's excellent. We have a program called Music and Memory. Ron talked about that a little bit. So we provide personalized iPods to people with chronic illness or dementia. And it doesn't matter how you get your music. We happen to put it on an iPod because we put all the favorite music in one spot. And so It doesn't matter if it's from your phone or from Alexa or whatever. Music can help, especially difficult things like you got to go to the doctor, got to go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the doctor. I don't want to go to the doctor. Let's listen to your music. Oh, let's go to the doctor, So it can really help with some of those transitions. We have a program called Dementia Friendly Activities. These are activities specifically for people with dementia, and it's just a blast. And so every time, we meet twice a month. Right now, everything we do is virtual. That's how it is these days. But we pick a theme, and whatever the theme is, things that smell good, or colors, or sports, or whatever. Last time we did instruments, so we not only showed pictures of instruments, but we played music from different instruments, like violin versus fiddle. It was really fun. And we have a blast. We talk, and they talk to each other, and it's so fun. But for you at home, you're welcome to join our activities if you want, but for you at home, go around and collect things, either images or stuff around the house. Cookies or bread or a bar of soap or an orange, or collect things and just smell it. They really connect with the senses. And so talking about things that you can see or touch or smell or hear is really fun to do. They were not going to remember who made these cookies, but they can talk about cookies. Like right now, every one of us knows what this is. We can smell it. We know what it tastes like. We want to grab it. Well, they do too. And they can talk about cookies, but not like, who used to make cookies for you when you were little? I don't know. But do you want to eat that? I do. And so animals, all of our guests are animal lovers, and we have the most fun talking about animals. When I showed the picture of this doggy, they all immediately, I know what he's going to do next. I can see what he's thinking. And they talked about this doggy for a long time. It was just fun. And I put this sheep up there because I just thought, that's cute, And apparently, I had no idea. Sheep are exceptionally stupid. And they talked and talked and talked about how dumb sheep are. And I thought that was so funny. I had no idea, but they did. I'm from Detroit. So anyway, but there are unlimited videos on the YouTube, animal videos, hilarious animal videos. You can watch animal videos all day long. And we had one that was hilarious. This koala got into some man's car in Australia. He couldn't get the koala out of the car. It was a riot. But anyway, so we watch videos and ask questions and just talk. And if you really want, my favorite one, and I'm not going to show it because it's seriously like 7 minutes long. This is an orangutan. Have any of you seen him driving the golf cart? It is so funny. He is driving the golf cart, actually, by himself. And I showed this video. It was like, seriously, I think it was 7 minutes long. And we're just like, man, this is fascinating. And he's just driving around this funny compound. And that's it. This is all you see the whole time. And you can watch this all day. So I put the link. The slides, I think, will be on the website. But anyway, just look. If you type into your Google, orangutan DR, it will come right up. You don't even have to put driving the golf cart up there. Anyway, they love him. And I love him, too. I showed my husband, and we're just staring. This is unbelievable. Look at him. Anyway, and you're like, how does he do that? How did they teach him? Anyway, I don't know. I don't know about it, but it's really fun to watch. It's mesmerizing. It's very slow. It's good. Anyway, another one, if you want to talk about sports, again, images or whatever, sports, it's so fun. I wanted to show sports bloopers because I'm a huge sports fan, but bloopers go too fast. People with dementia don't process fast, so you should speak slowly. And any fast videos are just really not going to connect very well. So you can show still images. Look, that guy, hello, the ball's behind you. So I found out what their favorite sports teams were, and we talked about that. And they can do that. They can talk about their sport teams. And this was my favorite, really. I need to do this one again. TV theme songs. We played all these songs, just got the videos on the YouTube, and they had no idea what the shows were or don't remember watching them. They sang along. Addams Family was the number one. I thought it'd be Rawhide, but it wasn't. They were all super into the Addams Family. Anyway,
YouTube videos. There's a setting down there in the gear. You can slow them down, so the playback speed is slower, and that really, really helps.
Oh.
With music, if it's too fast for them, or like any of those, it just slows it all down.
Oh, thanks. That's good to know. Where is that?
It's on the lower right-hand corner. This is the little gear, and you click on the little gear. And
Settings.
It has 4
Okay.
or 5 options, and there's a playback speed. You can speed it up or slow it down several different degrees either direction. And it's
Thank
super
you. Oh, that's really good. Thanks for saying that. I definitely didn't know that.
You can do it on podcasts too.
I've heard that. I've heard it on audiobooks too. Thank you for saying that. I didn't know that. Every single season, something to talk about. You can go outside on a walk. You can collect things outside. You can go on a drive. You can look at images. But every season is fun. We had a really funny picture of, last time we talked about spring, I think it was last month, but a funny picture of a guy, and he was lying on the grass. The top half of him was full like snow gear, and he was in the shade. The bottom half of him was barefoot and shorts because the lower half of him was in the sun. And I thought, that is Utah spring. Look how cold it is today. It's so weird. But if there's someone in your life, and I bet there might be, that says, what can I do for you? And you go, oh no, I'm fine. All right, this is what you do. You say, yes, this is what you do. It could be a friend, a family member, a neighbor, anybody. Have them come over. They can bring their iPad or use yours or your phone or whatever, and they can talk about any of these things. They can watch music videos. They can talk about spring in Utah. Again, looking at images, because you don't have to create conversation. It will happen. Sometimes people are nervous, like, oh, I don't know if I can talk to them. I don't know what to say. You can talk about cookies. Who can't, right? So you go take a shower or you leave and let someone sit with them and watch a music video. I used to visit a gentleman, and he was in his 90s. It was before COVID, and I just loved him so much. He was my favorite guy. And I'd go to his care center. I'd take my iPad, and every single time we watched the exact same videos, doesn't matter. And he loved harmonica music. And so we would just sit, and I'd turn on his favorite old harmonica things. There was one skit we'd watch from Milton Berle, and it was this hilarious comedy sketch with harmonica music. And he just laughed every time, and he sang every time. And sometimes we'd watch Shirley Temple videos, not the movies, just the songs. And he just sang and loved it. Every time was the same. I did not create anything new. I wasn't struggling to figure out what he liked to talk about. We just watched videos. That's something your people can do for you to give you a break. And I'm going to butt in and say, you need to take a break. There you go. So here's some suggestions. Keep your questions big and general. Ooh, what do you like about this? Please try not to say, don't you remember who's this in this picture? Come on, you know who this is. We want to do that. But remember, that side's not here with us anymore, and they are not going to remember really specific questions. And then have you ever been in a situation? I have. I don't have a great memory. But somebody will say, oh, remember when we did this? And you're like, no, I don't remember. Come on, don't you remember? We did this. And you're like, geez, I don't remember. Same, right? That feels frustrating. You kind of feel dumb. So don't do it to them. Don't quiz them. That makes them feel frustrated or angry. But they can talk. So what does this remind you of? What do you love about this? So you can show paintings. Oh, where are those horses going? What do you think they're doing? Look at that guy. Do you think he's going to make it? Because for me, it looks like he's going down. Anyway, so talking about the images and see what happens. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just for fun. And that's something that everyone in your life can do to help you, when they can come and interact. We have a choir for people who have dementia, which is seriously, like, there's nothing funner. And right now we're meeting virtually, but we're really working on how can we meet in person, and we're going to sort that out as soon as we can. It's so fun. This is Emily, our choir director. Raise your hand there. Anyway, and she founded the choir, and every week she comes and comes up with all new things. Every week has a theme, and there's trivia and singing and laughing, and it's a safe place. And it's a place where the caregiver can be with the person and not be the caregiver. You're just having activity together. You're just having fun together. That's another thing that friends, family, neighbors, whomever can take. Right now, take means go to your computer. But take the person to choir, and they sit with them for an hour, and you go and do something different. But it's a great place where anything goes, and it's really fun. It's fun for them. It's fun for the caregivers, and it's a blast. And before COVID, we had performances, and anyway, it's really fun. These were a couple of our special performances that we had. We love our choir. And this is a new program that Emily just created for us. It is not for people with dementia. We call it creative aging. This class in particular is called Exploring Creativity. It's for anybody. And creative engagement in whatever way, anything you do that's creative is really good for your body, it's good for your mind, it's good for your mental health, and super duper fun. And so these are some of the activities we've done. Every month is a different theme, a different activity. They meet virtually once a week. And so one time, they did this. This is called blackout poetry. You get a page of text and circle special words, and somehow magically that turns into a poem. So that's kind of fun, and you don't need any expertise, experience. You don't need to be creative or anything. The one on the top is called neurographic art. It's kind of like a watercolor doodle thing. Super relaxing, super fun. This one they just did recently, and it was like autobiography, like musical autobiography. And so you pick these are my favorite songs when I was little, these are my favorite songs in high school, and so forth. And by the end, you have a wonderful little autobiography of your life in music. And this is going to be for next month. So does anyone know what Zentangle is? Has anyone done Zentangle? Well, that's what this is called. Now, this looks ridiculous, right? Like, there's no way I could ever draw that because this is, Emily taught me. I'm super into it. And these are easy. They do not look, I can't draw anything. Literally, I can draw a stick figure and that's it. I am not creative. I'm very math brain. This is so easy. It's a guided doodle, and that's what we're going to do next month. And it's so relaxing and really good for you. Super duper fun. Yes?
Can you sign up for these at any time?
Yep, and everything we do is free.
So you can come into it?
Yep, right. People can pop in and pop out.
It's not sequence-based classes. It's just standalone every class. So you're not going to miss anything. Just come and then come again in 5 weeks. And every class just stands on its own.
Oh, it's just really, really, really fun.
What's that one called again?
Zentangle. Yeah, I took her class and I bought all the supplies. I'm looking on the YouTube all the time to find more designs. I do. I just did a really, really, really cool one. It makes me feel good because I can't draw, but I'm doing this stuff. It's fun. Yeah, I just did some really cool vines and blueberries. Anyway, so thank you. Are there any questions? All right.
Actually, I had one comment and one question. There's a rule of thumb about music that seems to work, which is the music you liked in your, especially late teens and 20s, are the ones that stick with you the hardest.
It seems to.
So that's one useful piece of information. But my question is about, there is some problem with sensory overload with
Yeah.
dementia. So I don't know that I really understand it, but I'm aware of it.
It's hard to process information because your brain's damaged. And so I'll give the example of Christmas.
Yeah.
Christmas is sensory overload, period, for all of us. Lights, there's so much to see. You're adding, like if you have a Christmas tree, you're putting that in your house. You're moving your furniture around. You're adding more decorations. Oh, there's too much to see. You've got music playing all the time, and people are coming and people are talking. There's all this coming in all the time. It's hard to process. There's so much going on, and so people with dementia really prefer quiet voices, one voice at a time. Parties, very hard, very distracting. Christmas has a lot of parties. So I'm just using Christmas as an example because that is kind of the ultimate example. But if it's Christmas time or any other time of the year and you're having people over, you might have your person with dementia in a room by themselves. That feels rude. It isn't. That way it's quiet. It's comfortable. And people can go in one at a time because that's not too much coming at them. People can come in one at a time, have a little quiet visit, and leave. It's also okay to leave your person home. Again, sensory overload. It's too much coming in, and that can be really upsetting, and it can result in frustration or acting out. So keeping things quiet, removing clutter from the house.
How I explain it to people is they get brain fatigue.
Oh, totally.
And then I also, when there's too many people, I call it social fatigue.
Oh, I get that.
And when I say that to them, it's brain social fatigue. And my husband has a room he always goes to. And my daughter will go back to her room. And so when people, they're not there, I'll say, oh, Grandpa's down in his den. You can go down and see him, whatever. But he's just not there when the groups are there.
Smart.
It's social fatigue and brain fatigue. And people click into that right away. Like, oh, okay.
That's smart, because then it's familiar and comfortable, and I'm not trying to understand what are you saying and what's all this.
Yeah. I had a neuropsychologist who also said to make your home a blue zone. I don't know if anyone knows what a blue zone is, but it's a study of different things that bring together where it's exactly what someone with dementia needs, where it's quiet, it's predictable, there's good food, good music, those kinds of things. And there's actually communities around the world, like Okinawa, there's a place in California, in Sicily, that those communities, and they live longer lives. But there's a Blue Zone cookbook, the whole nine yards.
Sardinia.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But just, it's that, and that is a home for those who are working with dementia. And it's helped me visualize what I needed to do when someone said, make a Blue Zone home.
What about flying, vacations,
Oh, that's a good question.
That's a good question.
going places with your grandchildren, how to help that kind of situation?
First, every one of you go out here, in just a moment. They have stacks of travel cards. So it's a little business card, and it says, my companion has memory loss. They may have trouble understanding, or something like that. Oh, good, you've got some. Would you read what that says?
My companion has memory loss and may have difficulty understanding what has been said.
So you take that, especially TSA at the airport, and they will show it to someone, and they'll help you get through, because you can't send them through. You have to go with them. And anyway, so TSA is a whole thing. But take these cards, take it to restaurants. You go to the restaurant, your person maybe can't read the menu anymore, but that's embarrassing. And so you show it to the person, to the wait staff, or the person at the airport. That way, they're not embarrassed. Oh, excuse them, they're forgetful, they don't know anything. You can look at menus in advance and pick, ask to not get any menus, just to avoid that kind of embarrassment. Traveling can be very big and overwhelming. A lot of times early on, they can do really well, because going to a different place isn't terribly upsetting, but it can be. I'm somewhere new, and I always describe it like this. If you took me right now and put me in some foreign country where I don't speak the language, I don't know how to hail a cab, I don't know how to get food, I don't know how to find the bathroom, and I'm just there, how would you feel? You'd feel frantic. It would be terrifying. How do I get out of here? What do I do? That's where they live all the time. And so thinking ahead with vacations, last time we went on vacation, they handled it. This time probably will be okay. But slowing everything down, doing fewer things, maybe fewer people, or just slowing the pace and watching. If this time it's a disaster because they get upset because I don't know where I am and I don't know how to find the bathroom and everything's new, we're going to do something different next time where you go by yourself. Yeah, but it can be hard. But I've known people with dementia who've traveled well into their disease to Europe. So it's not impossible, but just knowing that if it gets a little hectic, let them take a nap, take their favorite music with headphones, or something. But yeah, it can be. Just remember, sensory overload is real. And whatever the best time of day is. So if they fall apart every day at 3 o'clock, let's not have a big activity at 3 o'clock. Does that help a little? All right.
It's okay until it's not.
Right.
And you never know when.
You never know. Never know. Yeah, that's the hard part with dementia. You can't predict it. Not everyone with dementia will wander. They don't wander, guess what, till they do. They may not. They might. I don't know. How do you predict it? You can't. Travel might be great today. Travel might be terrible tomorrow. You don't know. And so you roll with it. And you go to a support group, as was mentioned earlier, because in a support group, wherever you get, the Alzheimer's disease offers support groups. Salt Lake County, every county aging offers support groups. You're with people like you are right now. Talk to your neighbors right now and connect with them because they get it. They get it when you say, I'm mad, I'm frustrated, they're bugging me. You can't say that to everyone because people will go, oh, you don't love them. I love them, but geez.
I don't like what they're doing.
Right, it's hard. And so joining a group isn't just sitting around complaining, it's connecting with people who get it. And when I was taking care of my neighbor lady, she was hard, like mean, hard. And I joined a support group because I was losing my damn mind. And it was great because you learn, because I'd go, she wears, like, I'm not exaggerating, she'd wear 3 pairs of pants. I'm like, she's wearing 3 pairs of pants. What? They go, yeah, they do that. And one man's like, yeah, my wife wears like 4 underwears. I'm like, really? And suddenly you're connected. Suddenly you're like, I guess it's okay she wears 3 pairs of pants. So support groups can be really helpful to get education, information, and connecting with people like you who get it. So why don't you wander around and everyone go get your doTERRA bag. They're giving out those cool doTERRA, like a little gift bag, and giving out other stuff. They have some good free stuff, so let's do that. Take advantage of the breaks.
So if I want to use the Jewish Family Center, do we just go online and read about your services, or?
Yeah, in your folder is my name and email. Email's the best way to get a hold of me.